Hello, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Hello, friends, hello, foes, and those in between.
Hi, hi.
Right. Well, how are we all doing? Are you ready to go on some errands?
Yes.
Oh, we only have one more.
Yeah, you only have... Yeah, that is true. You only have one left. Why am I not picking up your audio? I am. Okay. So...
That's
Yes?
no, it's better to think that you're not picking up the audio and realizing that you do than the opposite.
Absolutely. Yes. Right. So, last we left off... I mean, for us, it's not been very long, but just as a general reminder, you've met the witch. You've met Bavlorna.
Is she really a witch, though?
Nah, no. She's a hag. And with that, basically in exchange for you are very loud.
Who?
No, I'm talking to the music.
Okay.
Let's go for this one rather. So, in exchange for basically having entered her home without permission and having stolen a frozen heart, and the permission to actually engage with her and talk with her, you are to do three things. The first was to basically unblock her her indoor swimming pool, which status symbol and everything. The second is to get some of her property back in the form of a large book with her name on it, which was given to you by King Gullop the 19th, in a way of, well, you're not exactly sure what he was trying to do. And lastly, a box of crafting supplies, which one of you or a few of you remember seeing somewhere in the swamp, or somewhere in Dawnfall. As you are shooed away, you dispatched the gelatinous cylinder that was blocking the pool, bringing a flow of water back to the hut, and discovered and made. Oh, you also made friends with a fawn, which I need to add to.
Fawn or satyr?
Satyr.
Let's give a very nice gift to Anna also.
Yes,
the
absolutely.
temporary lockstone thingy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So don't forget that. Don't forget.
No, yeah.
So we actually never really determined who was going to be handling said item, a present from Vansel. So my question is then, who has the stone? Feel free to determine. Right now, I think Anna has it in hand, but it can be given to somebody else. It is temporary. It's about 24 hours.
Anna, after the chaos with the gelatinous tube, would most likely hand it to Tavaren, saying, "There. I hope it keeps you just a little bit more safe."
So Tavaren.
Shouldn't it keep you safe?
So Tavaren, you are given a small lump of wasp nest with a flower growing out of it. And you can, I think we've mentioned that you looking at it, you can see it's sort of slowly blooming, and you would expect that once it's completely bloomed and its petals start to fall, maybe it's the petals that are falling off, but you would determine that this would have pretty much a 24-hour lifespan.
Beauty and the Beast rose
Right.
rules.
Yes. In the interest of mechanics, let's put it this way, because I don't think you're going to be having too many long rests left here in Hither. So as long as it'll fade out when you decide to leave, basically this area. Right. And we still have that nagging feeling at the back of our necks, Ysdred, about something important being hidden away in this hut.
Yes.
You see Plum that literally brushes himself off, gives you a little pat on the shoulder, like, you see, my friend, you have done very good job. Everyone has done good job. We have fought like true family together, and we have defeated Gelatin Tube. Great victory for us.
Yes, you've made
So-
of this tube what some in the US would call a salad.
Exactly. Now, my friends.
No, please, not a gelatinous salad. No.
Uh, uh,
In Hither, Jello eats you.
oof. So, my friends, we have some people to visit to get crafting supplies, yes?
Package.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. It was where his fingers up where
The rebels were meeting.
exactly.
Right. So, to get back to your map as I'm preparing for here. What currently you are still very much in just around that pool. As the water sort of overflows, it becomes much clearer, and any sort of that acrid smell or feeling that it had to it, that alkaline texture, alkaline feeling to the water, sort of dissipates, and it feels clean, as far as lake water might be, right? So you've definitely handled that task. And you can see that the water level rises just to the lip of the pool, with the mirror being almost slightly submerged under the level. Now, Plum, you would be able to fully, while the others would have maybe their go up to their knees or just a bit higher. Plum, you this is 3 feet of water, so it's just as tall as you are.
You think you can maybe see something out of the mirrors underwater?
You would have to. You wouldn't have to literally dip it in, right? It's a tall standing mirror, and the water just comes up to maybe just above the reflective surface. The beginning of the reflective surface.
Well, we could check if you want, or we can get the supply.
Yeah, maybe we should do that first.
Okay. Head down the stairs.
I don't want to piss her off. We already did, but still. Details, small details.
That might go deeper.
And again, I give Tavaren a good shoulder clap. Like, I'm really proud of you. I trusted you, and you came through.
Well, maybe we all did.
Take compliments, my friend. I'm just happy. Okay, I'm not used to get a lot of help. When I get my ass kicked, I I get my ass kicked and I don't have somebody else getting my back. So thank you for that.
Is
Well, you're welcome.
everyone all right?
I'm good. How about you?
I am
Thumbs up.
unscathed.
Well, I'm good. That's Anna speaking under the effect of her 9 temporary hit points.
Yeah, because I believe that you
Uh,
are
she took,
you're
yeah,
technically
yeah, she
missing
took.
9 points of actual
Yeah. 11 actually.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would think, well, Anna looks juiced, right? She looks sort of high. Ysdred, I think you can definitely tell that she's taken a few hits.
Maybe we should, I don't know,
Also,
take a
the
little rest.
the temporary hit points are going to disappear now because
Yeah, wait, no, because I didn't take your. I was actually checking to see when um, the temporary hit points usually stay
So temporary hit
until the
points.
next rest.
Yeah. So Anna,
Okay.
you took the temporary hit points that you have are from your teleportation, rather
Yeah,
than
okay.
Tavaren's spell. So if
yeah.
everybody else, if you've had temporary hit points from the spell, they are now gone. I believe that's
Yeah, it's a minute.
it's a minute. Do the hit points disappear at the end of the spell? The effect? Check with that. Um, but I think
It's like
most.
the spirits. The spirits only stay for a minute, so I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyways, I believe that most of you have lost them anyways.
Okay. I I agree with this that we could take a break somewhere and talk a bit about what
Justify.
we're gonna do.
Yes, break would actually be great.
Of
Like
course.
the temporary hit points, you get them when the spirit appears, and it doesn't say when they disappear. So
Yeah,
maybe
I
just
think it. I think by default, then I think that what happens is that you lose them. Temporary hit points usually last to the next rest, with it be long or short. So
I-
if you still have temporary hit points, you have them. That is my calling. I have spoken.
yeah.
So, talking about a short rest, do you want to take it here around the pool, sort of soaking your feet in, or do you want to do it somewhere else?
I'll take the somewhere else option.
Well, we didn't have permission to use her pool, so technically, if we soak her feet in, she could be get pissed off
Mm-hmm.
because she explicitly said that we need to resolve the pool problem, but didn't say that we could use it. So other worries, we could bring that the call box to the one person also that that has a no beating well a beating heart in their chest for the moment.
We could also take the short rest in the same place we took our long rest last time.
That is a very good idea. Is everyone agreeing with this?
Sure.
Fine, either way, I'll take watch.
Sure.
Okay. The You make your way to the opening that had brought you up here, that trap door at the south of the room. Um, as you open it, you can hear sort of again the noises of the swamps that sort of rise up, right? You've got, and in addition, you've got the croakings and the musings of the Bollywog sort of floating around in the lake at the center of their town. And as you step down, you find. Let's just move you back to downfall over here. You find that the boat is occupied by two chatty individuals. They seem to be chatting away like as if with old friends. Clapperclaw and Vansel they're just sitting in the boat, waiting for you to come down.
Yeah, let's hop in the boat if there's enough space for everyone.
There is. Clapperclaw doesn't take a lot of space, and neither does Plum. So.
I am small.
And just sort of swimming around, you can see the mane of Nixie just poking out from the surface of the water. So they've been waiting and waiting.
Missed you.
There's a nuzzle from the. Oh. Yeah, there's definitely sort of little nuzzle coming up your way from this. I was about to say seahorse, but from the.
Yeah. You've been good. You would have hated it in there. There was a corridor that made you small.
How?
There's also a pool.
And there was also.
True.
What intelligence had we given Nixie? Okay, intelligence of 6. So she definitely understands you. And you can just see that while the corridor making her small doesn't really register to her, the idea that there was a pool does pique interest, but is very much sort of moves on to something different. Right. So I would ask, now that you have access to a boat that can drop you anywhere in town. So where do you want to go?
Fast travel!
Yeah, well, yeah, pretty much.
Well, if I remember well, which one was of the houses again that we used as a resting point?
That would be down south. Do you have a vision of the map?
Yeah, well, the place we visited.
Yes. Which is pretty much everything. I think there's maybe a
Yeah.
few things that you haven't visited yet.
It's only this one or this one.
Basically,
it was
it's
this one.
It was
basically it's aim for a tree, and we rested in the hut there, and I know that the elf was not far away around that. So
yeah. So you've got the big barkless, which was the Whomping Willow that you guys decided to go and charge. And then across from that, you had the mushrooms with Octavian, and just below was the empty Bullywug hut.
Wouldn't it be interesting then that we go here then and then walk the rest of the way?
yeah, that was my suggestion.
Okay.
Okay. Well.
Well then, I shall move you.
Oh no.
Boom.
Teleportation.
No. All the while, I'll say this. As you sort of stepped down, you could hear Clapperclaw and Vansel discussing, and it was very much oh, no, that way's closed now. No, what you need to do is... And they seem to be exchanging directions or sort of direction instructions, right? It said, oh, no, turn at the old... hump, clockwise twice around the fairy ring, and then move on to the... And they seem to be sharing information. For what you would guess is that they're sharing information how to move from hither to thither or yon, basically. As Vansel has been stuck here for a while, and Clapperclaw at least knows how the way from hither to thither, and is sharing freely that information.
Okay. So, wait.
We
have
might
to-
want to note that.
Yes.
Oh,
I think Clapperclaw suggested that he would bring us to Dither.
yes.
I was pretty sure of that, so that's why I was like, oh.
A-
Well, I
a-
mean, if
in exchange for recovering his head, his original
which we
head.
haven't done yet.
No, you have not yet.
Indeed. All right. Well.
Okay.
Bog.
Clapperclaw will, I think as soon as you hit the main, let's call it the mainland, Vansel sort of looks to all of you, gives a bow, still wrapped in his Bullywug finery, and pretty much sort of, well, I hope we meet again, and best of luck in your endeavors. I shall continue my travels and think of you fondly. And if there's nothing left to add, just sort of disappears into the fog.
Okay. Anna will probably tell him to have safe travels and hopes that they might meet again at some point.
May our paths cross again. Then. I'm gonna put him there. There you go. And Clapperclaw is, as I said previously, apart from Bevlor Nazat, he pretty much follows you everywhere. I'm not gonna move his token. He's usually fairly discreet, especially if there's a fight. He's a very small little puppet, able to sort of cram into any sort of nook and cranny. So just understand that he is there. Okay?
Okay.
Right. But I will leave him with the boat.
Hey, look, it's Octavian.
Yes, it is Octavian. You can hear that there's that sort of that slow melody that he's playing. That as you feel that sort of that melancholy sort of rising up. There's a moment where you almost find just adding to the tiredness of the battle, of everything that happened recently, you find just that desire to just sit down in a ball, in a corner, just wrap yourself up and let life go. Fortunately, I do not have a music like that on file, so. And as sort of he looks up from his flutes to you. Oh, you've come back.
Yes. Actually, we have something for you.
With a little present for you.
Do you now?
Yes. Well, and you're not very excited about it yet, but you will be.
I'm sure. It's always a possibility. So, what have you found?
We'll dig into the heavy haversack and produce like the. Was it in the box or was it without the box?
No, without the box. You just
Then produce the heart.
The lump of flesh, it has slightly warmed to now that's no longer in that, and so there is that you do feel it sort of underneath your touch, sort of pump a little bit more. The beating heart is sort of bringing up a more usual rhythm. But as you bring it closer to Octavian, you feel that the flesh seems to slightly warm itself, almost to human temperature, while it was just room temperature. And Octavian said, "Ah, yes, Well, that would be my heart, indeed. Did you take that from? Did you negotiate that from the hag?
Well, no, we kind of
We
we're working
found
on
it
our
and
debt
then
now.
negotiated it after.
Oh, well. I would think that it would be obvious for if this heart was stolen from me that it would be stolen from her. There is a poetic justice to that, I guess.
I agree.
All right. So, what do we do now?
I don't know. Maybe you should hold it first.
As you hold it to it, the heart sort of beats in. So he pulls out his puts out his hand, has the heart in it, and he goes, "This is well. I guess it's not everyone's experience to hold one's heart in one hand, though. I'm sure there's been plenty of songs written about the subject. But what now?"
How
I
did
don't
she
know.
extract it?
She reached in with one hand, ripped my heart out, and with the other placed a goat's heart in its place, muttering an incantation of some curse, and the switch was made.
Ah,
I
and I don't
cannot say more.
suppose you remember the words.
No.
So I would say that logically, if maybe you were to try and push that heart in, maybe while someone removes the curse of the hag, it would go back in its place.
That would be logical.
Well,
Oh, you know what? This is okay. This is the opportunity that I missed to actually make this Octavian just a Vulcan. I should have. I should.
uh, well,
That would be logical.
well. Maybe we can start with just trying to put heart against chest to see what happens.
You sort of place it against his. Huh. The heartbeats seem to be irregular. Well, one from the other.
Well, one is a goat, so
That is true.
Maybe
I don't think ripping your goat's heart
probably not a good
to
idea
be a
without.
good, yeah.
Um, does anyone have the remove curse spell or
Yet.
absolutely no one?
We're not high enough level for that yet.
Remove curse is a second level spell.
uh,
Third.
Or
Third,
third?
yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
bad.
m- m- when you're putting your heart against chest, can you imagine that heart goes back and try to push in chest? Maybe. I'm trying simple solution, but after that, remove curse is more the complicated solution.
Um, in the interest, does anyone have lesser restoration? That will allow that.
Maybe.
I
Yes.
Okay. You want to try that?
I even had it prepared.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So in the interest of not, leaving the place, getting an extra level for that spell, then coming back and whatnot, I will allow a lesser restoration. Um, does remove curse have a material component of some sort?
I'm gonna check that out for you.
Just Firbolg and somatic.
Okay, perfect. So as you so yeah, Octavian's just sitting there with the heart with his heart in his hands. Um, what do you, Tavaren? What do you? How do you do this?
Well, maybe I can restore it. And it's like, wait. So if I'll put one hand on your chest and one hand on the heart, and then focus, focus.
Hocus pocus focus. Okay. And considering that lesser restoration, I'd forgotten about this, is a bonus action. Okay. So yeah, it's do you want to give it a little bit of flair more than just the hocus pocus?
I think he's just really like just being very like I don't know what to do. I'll try this.
Fair enough. Yeah, this
Most of Tavaren's magic is actually accidental.
yeah. I can actually see that. Yeah.
I don't want to know how you discovered Wither and Bloom. Then honestly,
You do not.
Well, I mean, a lot of it is fey magic, right? So you do have said that. Well, you are. I think that a lot of the lessons that you got, more than any effective teacher that you had at the academy back in Waterdeep, was most likely you get a lot of you're a prodigy because you're a lot of practice during your dreaming.
I mean, doing what he does is still more subtle than ripping the guy's ribcage open and switching cards.
100%.
So
100%.
why not?
Actually, I'll say this to give it a little bit of horror. As you so he unbuttons his shirt, right, and you can see that there's a place where his heart would be, but there's a hole, and just sort of the you have it's almost like a cage with the sort of very slender rib cages, sort of almost marking as a cage, and you can see there's a heart smaller than it should, well, different, because we don't know the size of the goat. So as you place your hands on both, and you can feel the restorative nature of your magic sort of seep into both the heart and the chest. And there's a moment where, almost like a magician's trick, where the hearts switch places. Right? There's where you had the goat heart inside and the elf's heart on underneath your hand. All of a sudden, you just feel a shift underneath your hand as the size of the heart changes. And as you look up, the wound sort of closes back in. Oh. This is amazing! Oh, thank you!
See, I told you would be excited.
Of course! Oh, how I miss this feeling. Oh, you are... Thank you! He sort of jumps up from his seating position, grabs you by the shoulder, and just hugs you. Considering how big... Whoa! Yes! Thank you! Thank you! Goes to each one of you. So, here's what... He goes to hug you, but do you accept the hug? Do you shift it into anything else of a sort of a...
I'll hug him back.
Hug him back?
Yeah.
How about the other three of you?
Anna will probably also accept it and just have a couple of taps on his back.
Yes, you are lifted up, right? Because he's a bit taller than you are. No, I think he would. I think he would lean down. Plum.
I would accept hug, and if he does a uppy to give me a hug, I will give him a bear hug.
Yes,
the strongman bear hug.
I'll make him I'll have a strength check for him. Oh yeah, okay. And on that 16, he sort of picks you up, shifts you up in the air. He picks you up like he would pick up a child, and then realize that, whoa, okay, this is. And then I think he does the whole sort of dancing thing where he spins around, goes to Ysdred, and what happens then?
She's probably a bit awkward if he tries to pick her up, because especially if it's sudden, like she would be more concentrated on keeping her head on her shoulders and awkwardly tapping his shoulder like it's gonna be
There, there,
alright.
there.
But awkward but accepting.
This. I need to get going. I need to get out of here.
Where you going?
Yes, but rules are rules. And he sort of goes about and gives you the he gives you he had a pair of he had a set of sort of double flute, the sort of long. May these help you in any way you might use them. They've hopefully I won't be needing them anymore. And he sort of looks at the lump of flesh that is sort of died. It's still on the floor basically. And well, I won't be needing that one anymore. So feel free. I want nothing to do with it anymore. Thank you again. And should our paths meet again, it will be in friendship. And with that, he just disapparates. Sort of, you would recognize this as sort of a misty step kind of magic. And I'm gone. Disappears.
Ysdred would firebolt the goat's heart like, you've done well.
Oh,
keeping
you
him
don't want
alive.
You don't want to feed the goat's heart to Nixie?
I do not feed Nixie cursed items, but and I don't think giving Nixie the taste of something's heart is a good idea anyway.
Lots of protein if needed.
Sure.
Well,
so what do you do?
Her
Do you
to
want?
be a picky eater.
Does anybody have detect magic up and running right now?
Not
Nope.
up and running.
No.
Nope.
Okay.
That's
So you just you burn the heart.
Yeah, I said like
Firebolt.
you've done your office.
Okay. Right.
and
There is a. It takes you maybe a few times to truly get rid of the lump of meat, but fair enough. At some point, there is just ash, and a scorch mark on the ground. The heart is no. The heart is no more.
Mhm.
I think we're done here.
Well, no.
Tavaren,
yes.
you may add into your inventory pipes of haunting.
Okay.
Ooh.
that sounds as a very fun item.
If I remember correctly, they are fun.
Nice.
Let's see, treasure pipes of haunting. Uncommon item. You must be proficient with wind instruments to use these pipes.
I'm provisioned with horn, so
Yeah, I'll allow it. It has 3 charges. It allows you to frighten creatures within 30 feet. If they fail a save. Yeah, each creature within 30 feet of you that hears you play must succeed on a DC Wisdom saving throw, become frightened of you for 1 minute. If you wish, all creatures in the area that aren't hostile automatically succeed, which is fun. A creature that fails the saving throw can repeat it at the end of each of its turn, ending the effect on itself on a success. And once a creature that succeeded its saving throw is immune to the effect of these pipes for 24 hours. There we go.
All right.
Now, Tavaren starting his fear build. So, Where to now, friends?
To the hut for a well-deserved bit of food and drink and a quick nap.
Okay.
I'm very fond of power napping.
As you step inside the building, you do not find it empty this time. You do see that there's a you find a female bullywug in sort of sort of a maid style outfit, sort of brushing. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Oh, Monarch. Yes, and others. Yes, yes. Chosen. Please. Yes, I will. Please use my home. You are welcome to stay here. I will wait outside. And sort of rushes outwards, and before you can say anything, basically jumps into. You hear there's a splash.
Okay, a splash.
Wow.
Well, that was weird.
Yes.
Whoops.
I feel a bit rude for intruding to her home like that.
Be
But
careful
then she
to not
just
press. Yeah. Be careful. Apparently, you're intimidating young ladies now, Tavaren.
Well, I didn't mean to.
At least you do not have that effect on our dear Anna.
No, don't let up.
Well, so I mean, since she very kindly left us the place, who wants to eat something because I'm starving?
Yeah.
Yes. I agree. A good
Amazing.
meal would be good.
And I will get the packs out and start preparing something for food.
Yeah, that doesn't really work. No, I'll find something. Yeah. Feel free to take that short rest.
While we're doing the short
Yes.
rest, you see Plum very sheepishly go to Tavaren and say like, you're good in nature magic, yes?
I'm yeah, I guess.
And he shows his croquet hammer and he's saying like, well, after hitting the acid cube tube, gelatin tube, well, my hammer took some damage. Could you have a look at it? Maybe you could try to fix it. Maybe it's my favorite hammer. So
Yeah, I can do that.
thank you. I'm very grateful.
Of course not. It's not. There.
Yeah. The okay, making break. So it's as you look at the croquet hammer. You can see that it's basically been eaten away. There's still it's pocked. It's eaten away by the acid of the cube. And your mending magic manages to sort of recreate it slowly, but it is still going to take time to sort of fully take care of. I think we'd mentioned that it'll help. It'll allow you when you get to the long rest. I think we'd mentioned.
Yeah. It was a long rest.
So it's you can do so, but it's going to take time.
Is Tavaren still on the map? Because
Tavaren is Tavaren on the map?
I seem to have disappeared.
Are you not on the map?
Wait, I can probably drag myself on there, can't I?
Yes, you can. But I can do that directly onto There you go.
Thank you.
Where are
We've
you?
got a Tavaren.
Well,
I don't
here?
know. Maybe it is. Maybe it disappeared. The token might have disappeared when I was removing temporary hit points for some reason.
Well,
Yeah, you're not under Nixie either, so I don't know.
No.
yeah, you're see-through. That's weird. No, now you're back to normal. Huh.
Anyways,
So, yeah. Anna, after preparing a quick snack for everyone, just props her feet up and puts her head against the counter somewhere and starts dozing off.
you take the time to catch your breath, eat a bit, rest a bit. Is there anything that anyone would like to discuss? Anyone, or should we just move on?
How are we going to get all the bollywogs out of there so that we can actually grab the chest?
I mean, we can just ask them nicely.
I've got my doubts on that technique, but gotta be honest, your optimism is very refreshing.
Well, you had been told, um, potentially, you had been told that you could take that as a gift above Lorna if you helped with the revolution, I believe.
Yes. Well, we could ask, and after that, if not, well, we go to plan B. So what do you guys think? Do you have any proposition?
Let's see what they say.
Okay.
Yeah. I s-
Well,
we might ask question about Pavlona's other sisters. Know why they might have heard of those sisters.
true, we could ask questions.
They
But
love to babble and are sometimes exaggerating, which might help us going back to to that witch.
That is very
And
wise
we
of you to not say her name fully, as who knows who might be listening.
Mhm.
but just question. If friendly asking does not work and they become unfriendly towards us, what are we going to do then?
I've got the means to either influence their emotions, just entangle them so that we have more time, or even possibly put them to sleep.
Okay, good for me.
Remember the three rules.
Well, it's gonna grab the hammer again, just like
Okay.
that. Thank you, Tavaren. I shall be careful and give
Um,
it later back again.
let's half that damage to it. So it was only a -1 to the damage rather than -2.
Okay. Good.
Okay then. You guys move out.
Yep, I think so.
Yes.
Okay. Feel free to move
Yannick.
about the map.
You guys coming?
I'm
Yep.
coming.
Just a minute. I'm managing multiple things at the same time. Dear DM,
Yes.
would you mind actually posting those rules? Or at least repeating them once more so that I can write them down so that everyone has them
So if you
in
look,
case of need.
if you look
They're
into
in the handouts.
they're in the handouts. There is
Oh,
rules of
okay.
conduct, very, very top normally.
Oh, yeah, right.
And so I can bring them back out. So the rules of hospitality. When
Yeah.
a friend, an enemy, or stranger enters your home, you are expected to be gracious and accommodating to them until such as a time as they prove by the words or actions undeserving of such hospitality. The rule of ownership. You must not steal from a friend, enemy, or a stranger. To take something that does not belong to you without the rightful owner's permission is a crime and an unforgivable breach of etiquette. And reciprocity. Hey, I managed to say it from the first time. Reciprocity. When a friend, an enemy, or a stranger offers you a gift, you are obliged to accept it and offer something comparable value in return. Such reciprocity need not happen immediately. So this be it a gift or a service. I will say, as you cross the bridge, you start hearing singing. You start hearing basically you start hearing an I guess this would be an opera. You know, with a Pavarotti style soloist accompanied by a choir behind him. None of you understand the language because it is clearly in Bullywug. But it is very much, and it seems to be coming out of this hut, muffled as long as you don't open the door. As soon as you open the door, it is full blast in your face, where you see Illig, Baron of Muckstup, basically standing on top of a crate with the name Bavlorna written on it, and singing to the same troupe of 4 to 5 Bullywugs that seem to have come in almost like in a Disney musical to accompany his personal number, his protagonist number. And
I have a question
Yes.
about the rules again before we go in.
Yeah, okay.
How flexible are the rules and how dependent are they on your own interpretation, or are they absolutely fixed in stone?
Yes.
Yeah, so a chest with Bavlorna's name on it would be considered stolen by the Bullywugs if they don't intend to give it back to her. So if we take it from their house to bring it back to Bavlorna, this is actually not stealing, it's getting it back to its rightful owner.
Except it was mentioned that this would be given to you in exchange for your help in the upcoming revolution. Which means that it has already been established as technically their property to be given to Bavlorna, but it is theirs.
Yeah, but shouldn't we go then on the rule of reciprocity?
Should we just go talk to them and see what they think about it, instead of hypothetically thinking about what might happen?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to make sure.
True.
Anna's bringing up her class on contracts and and sort of fey contracts and meanings.
True.
I mean, dealing with the Fae is like dealing with devils. You need a good understanding of law and
Yeah.
conversation.
So my follow-up question would be, were they the ones who but we'll play that in real time, but were they the ones to assemble the chest?
So as you step in, as I mentioned, Illig is still very much. As you open the door, he doesn't start singing. He doesn't stop singing, but there's a moment where one of his arias turns and he turns towards you. Who's the first one to enter into the door? Who's the one who opened the door?
Not Ysdred. She doesn't want to talk to them.
You,
She got pissed last time.
you know what? You have Tavaren that said like, yeah, maybe we should talk with them, and he's like, yeah, of course, and he's gonna be open the door.
Okay, Plum, make me a performance check. As the Baron clearly sort of indicates with a flourish of his arms and his swamp-eaten cloak towards you to sort of either finish or continue the aria.
Damn, normally I would have said, could I use my muscles for that? But
you flex the music into being.
Exactly. Performance.
That's a 17. Somewhere in your history, Plum has. Wait, Plum. Who had singing lessons? Did any of you get singing lessons from Pasha? No, not Pasha.
Look,
the siren.
the siren.
No,
yes, I did.
Okay, well, Plum, this would have been done
too.
at advantage. So but 17 is good enough. And again, as you finish it, not necessarily understanding the words, but you finish the melody, you grab it. Do you bring? So, second question: do you bring it? Do you end it up high? As in, do you go operatic and go move into the aria, or do you bring it down?
You know that vibe of like the song of Gaston, like no one is, and I try to go up, and then I'm gonna go like very high, then lower, and then do a bow.
Okay.
And give a sign to the other people and drink.
As they don't clap, but they have so that click or that grunt. You can see that their pouches underneath in their neck sort of, which you understand to be a form of clapping. But if there was energy where you brought it, you basically calmed them down rather than revving them up. Which I don't know if that was the purpose, but it is. And so, yes, all of them seem to be almost exhausted with the effort. They may have been singing for a while. Yes, the monarch's escort. Please come in. We are so glad to see you. To see you. As Illig sort of turns towards you. We were just about to gather up the troops and confront that imposter on the throne. Having you with us will definitely help our cause against this unjust monarch and this tyrannical dictator.
I think you should go by yourself if you want legitimacy. If we go with you, people will say that you use someone else's power, right?
Well, legitimacy is sort of the Baron goes sort of it. Make me a persuasion check.
Yes.
Let's see how that argument works.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
He sort of thinks about it. Legitimacy is important, but I do believe that the word from an outside monarch would show that my foreign affairs are in order.
And what if they think that you are giving powers to other monarchs for your crown? That would make you a puppet in someone else's eyes?
Well,
That would be disastrous, right?
well, Tavaren here, present, would just have to say that he does not want anything in return and freely gives his support. That would work.
But doubt will always be there. And you do not want to start your reign in doubt.
You did roll an 11.
I know, but
yeah,
if
no,
someone would come in to help me, please, that was an introduction.
I see.
I mean, you.
I understand your point, and I recognize your concern. That is very important to us. That concern. However, with the as Gullop does have the hag behind him, it would set the scales to show that I also have the respect of outsiders.
Guys.
So.
If you're going to try and dethrone the king, I suppose you don't need that crate anymore that you're standing on.
He has valid point. You are going to do that. He's true in his words. I agree with the monarch.
You see, he turns towards another bullywug, and you can see that this particular bullywug, while the others are in sort of noble or clothing, a bit the way you are no longer wearing, by the way. This one looks more. He's got. It's more about sort of tight-fitting leathers. He's got a large belt at which you can see that there are many sort of little hooks or places to sort of attach things, and he just goes that this crate was well, Vulp, you were the one to you've given this crate to the revolution. He's a yeah. Clearly the hunter that sort of set this whole thing. You can see that in a corner of the room there's a lot of sort of different weapons and traps and nets and stuff like that were clearly in his home, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, Volp here. He decided to volunteer this this apple box to the revolution, and well, let's make it a reward for your help. Help us depose Gullop the 19th, make him Gullop the no more, and this crate will be yours.
And what exactly, what kind of help do you need from us exactly? Because we were received by Gollop, and should we turn our hands against him directly, we would be seen as dishonorable by all bullywogs, and so our and the monarch's support to you would be meaningless.
That is true. However, I do promise a royal pardon for such actions, as you would help the passing to a more legitimate and more grandiose reign.
But monarch, you are not yet, and any pardons after the fact would not erase the dishonor that we would have incurred.
No, yes, I understand that fully. Well,
we might be able to help in more indirect ways, but to directly take action towards a standing monarch who actually received us in his court would be most dishonorable.
Okay, I'm gonna give me a persuasion check, and I'm gonna give you advantage on this because you are working right into the Bullywug's state of mind. I really like that.
Persuasion, right?
Yeah, persuasion.
All right. With
That's a
advantage.
19.
19. Yeah.
Yeah. Indeed, you can hear sort of the grumbles of the bullywugs behind it. Again, it sounds it
Rubble,
literally
rubble,
sounds like the stereotypical old British men talking about you. Sorry to our British viewers, but you know what you do. The and so the Baron sort of looks at, yes, of course. Well, what action would you suggest then? How may you help?
How would your plan be taking place?
Oh,
Because
very simple. I go up, hiding a dagger behind my back, make pretend to trip, and then just fall and stab him. This you had seen before, drawn on the floor, basically, but now the crate's been moved on top of the drawing to avoid any suspicious, inlookers.
Yeah, of course. And do we know, because we've been to the big to his throne room, we know how it's set up. Is that a realistic arrangement, or will it be doomed to fail?
Literally on the roll of a die.
Yeah, okay.
From what you saw, the guards were not particularly sharp.
Okay.
The situation, he could most likely, it might happen. It might work.
Okay. We could, under guise of friendship, offer you help. Oh. Tavaren. As an act of friendship towards the future king, do you think you would have something, a gift that might help his chances as to reaching his goal? I gifted you an object recently that might be useful for those kinds of endeavors.
I guess.
Because this is not directly helping our good Baron, it is simply giving him a gift of friendship that might or might not be used in a situation where he would find himself in the near future.
Yeah, I guess. If you want to offer it to him.
So what am I understanding? Is it so what do you do? What do you do, Tavaren?
I mean, I'll hand it over back to Anna and just go. I mean, if you want to give it to him, yeah.
No. I mean, I direct Tavaren to be the one to give it directly to the monarch, to the Baron.
So as you, what do you do?
Yeah, I guess I can give it to him.
Okay.
Like, sort of giving it to Anna, and then suddenly, oh, no.
I was like, here, Anna, and then Anna goes, no, you.
Yeah, I gently redirect the hands towards the Baron.
Ooh, to receive a gift from the foreign monarch themselves, and oh yes, I see the enchantment upon it. Of course, this will help. Friends, companions, compatriots, brothers and sisters, luck is on our side. And immediately there's a croaking of acknowledgement as yeah, okay. Tavaren, make me a persuasion roll with advantage, and the DC is going to be really low.
Just 13.
13. Yeah, that's enough. Oh, you have a +0, you poor thing.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, of course. If you wish, the crate is yours. And immediately.
Thank you for this gift in return. That is much appreciated and follows the rules of
hospitality. Yeah.
Well, there goes my intricately planned scene. Right. Okay. Thank you.
You know, compared to Waterdeep, this type of scheming is really low level.
Fair.
No, I mean, it's logical that Anna would be the one to hatch those kinds of plans. She probably heard her mother mutter about political schemes since she was like literally out of the womb.
Absolutely.
In the womb.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, in the study of Waterdeep, Anna's mother, achoo!
No.
If she's not spying, she's actually proud. She has a little smile.
There's that moment where she's talking. We see her in her office at some point talking to Heinrich about something or other, and she just raises and goes, "I've just felt a sudden pride. I don't know why." So you were saying. Okay. Yes. So. Who is going to carry? So this is a crate full of basically dead animals. Who would be picking it up?
Can I?
I'm gonna.
Yeah, let's pick it up together.
I was gonna say, muscle man. I'm not gonna help. I'm gonna be useless at this.
I have higher carrying capacity, so
yeah.
And I think the crate is more. I mean, it's a fairly large crate. It's about it's this. I mean, you could put Plum inside, standing.
No, I don't want that. Yeah, you can carry a lot, my friend, but you are also the one with the very keen eyes. Also, so if something would come or would bother us, you would be the first one to see if you carry something and try to see.
Yeah. So maybe at the moment there's maybe a moment where you open the crate to have a look at it in before you sort of nail it down back shut, or at least Vulp does it for you. You can see that inside the crate are 7 woodland animal carcasses. So of sort of going from cat to pike to maybe a small deer or sort of marsh deer kind of animal. They've been there for maybe a few days, and so it is let's just say that as you pick
they're
it
not
up,
the freshest.
They're not the freshest, and there is drippage.
Yeah.
Well, Ysdred, would you like to help me to carry box? Yes?
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay.
Are you doing okay, Ysdred?
You have the box.
You seem a bit lost in thoughts.
I am.
Walk and talk at the same time while carrying
Yeah.
the box.
I am just frustrated that we did not ask about the sisters, but
We could ask at We could ask to the person we're going to visit. Yes, we've done tasks. Would talk with us.
Aren't we
It's
still
better
in
to
in?
ask before.
Aren't we still
Hmm.
literally in the room with them?
Yeah.
You're maybe just outside. Yeah,
Yeah.
basically, and you can hear that the singing has
Started again.
very much Les Mis sort of revolution song. You can see that some of them are now wearing sort of red how do you call them? Sort of red handkerchiefs around their arms, and there's a couple of berets that have appeared out of nowhere.
No. Oh, so it's French Revolution
Yeah,
style, not La Muette de Portici style.
What?
How the Belgian Revolution started.
was at the Brussels Opera House. Um,
The more you know.
yes, but the Belgians did not have hat style
Yeah,
symbols,
no.
so it's much easier. Um, besides, I mean, I think if we can have a look, if you actually look at their helmets, it kind of looks like a Phrygian bonnet.
Hmm.
Yeah, kinda. From far away.
I mean, yeah, sure. Anyways, so now that you've got, yeah, so you are still very much in the area. They're starting to hype themselves up again. Maybe just about to move out, as you can see that there's a large tarp, sort of moss colored tarp, again with the weapons, traps. The what was it? Heavy crossbow, hunting traps, a couple of spears, and other things. And they seem to be passing along, all the while poor Volp is sort of looking at his equipment being pillaged. All the while, everybody already has weapons. They all have swords or knives or whatnot, but these are the weapons of revolution. These are the weapons of the people, and therefore must be used in the revolution to come.
They're
Yeah.
symbolic.
Yeah.
Before we go,
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I am calling to them.
Yeah.
Might you be so nice as to give us a bit of information about, our dear witches' sisters? What did you hear about them?
The Baron sort of turns and says, "Oh, um, we actually, I'm gonna roll the die on this one. Okay. Um, in the interest of time and of you realize that not much actually is known. They don't know much about Bavlorna herself, right? The Bullywugs here, as you start interrogating them and talking to them, they see you fully as friendly, and so are completely open books. But you realize that they are so taken into their own little conspiracies, into their own little world, that very much, not much else has actually penetrated their thick skulls. It's they don't have interest in the outside world. They do know that there is a trio of hags that they did take over fairly recently, but they Bavlorn has always sort of let them be in a way, and so they haven't. Those are politics that are beyond them. No, unfortunately,
Okay.
apart from the information that you have on Bavlorna already, there's not much more that you learn, and they have no idea as to well, no, because the sisters would have never visited either, so they've never seen the sisters either.
Okay, so we're a bit cornered here.
But they do know, but that again, I think you've picked up on as well, which is there is a rivalry between the three.
Yeah.
Each of them having cut off a piece of Prismeer for their own, but cannot see and are very happy to rule over their own sort of piece of it. But there's no. They might be sisters, but it's a difficult family.
Yeah, but we know about that, but we kind of need a bit more to dig in.
Yeah, unfortunately, these are not going to be the people to help.
And for example, if we. When did you give us the rule of conduct? I think it's fairly recent, right?
No, that was actually told to you by Mr. Witch and Mr. Light.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, I
I've
forgot about that.
the writing I've given you only recently because I need the reminder. But no, originally it was Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, and I believe the Pale One had actually given those classes as well to Anna. We had flashback to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I forgot about them until you gave us, and we could have gone with a different strategy going
Absolutely,
inside the witch. So
that's on me.
it's okay, but yeah, it would have changed a lot of things, I guess.
No, not really actually. But we'll discuss that when we do the whole debriefing thing.
Well,
But
we had the book. If we just came in like and presented, we would have something to bargain.
No,
um,
no. Technically, she would have turned it around, saying, "Well, you also came in uninvited and without my approval, so technically, this is just an apology for that."
yeah, it
So
was
we
always
would always have to.
in the book. It's always three tasks, and it's the same three tasks, whether you had done anything or not. So it would have it made for a good coincidence that you there were three things to atone for, well, two things to atone for, and one to get the audience. But it was always going to be three tasks.
Okay.
So no, don't worry about that.
Okay, that's fine. But we still have to discuss a way because we have to free someone from the sisters' grasp, the sisters' influence. We have to free the area. So I do not see how conflict is avoidable.
We have to free the area, but not right now. I think we can continue on, gather more information, more allies, and come back when we're stronger and have a better understanding of what's happening exactly.
I am not sure. It might happen, but those are the Feywhites.
Yeah, what I also
Planning,
know is taking on a hag that's in an active coven at our levels is suicide.
yes, but going back and forth, the Feywild is always a bit tricky.
Well,
That's the part I'm pondering.
that is what you would have me for, at least between hither and thither,
That
as
is true.
um,
Ah,
as the puppet sort of who's been listening to all of this.
Yeah.
yeah. That's one less concern, actually. So yeah.
Well, of course, as long as you find you find my head. That is the bargain.
Yes, we'll have to negotiate with the hag for that, but let's see how we can find it.
Okay. Did you actually find my head inside? Did you see it?
We haven't seen it yet.
Oh.
I wanted to ask, but just to confirm, it's not in the box that we're gonna bring to
No.
Bavlona.
No.
Thank you.
No,
Just
you can recognize it. It's a large stag's. It's a stag's head with large antlers, and one side there are 8 points, and on the other one only 6.
Didn't we see that?
No, you've not.
No.
No.
Okay.
No, there was a construct, a sort of in her taxidermy study, but no, it was not the right. Let's put it this way: you do not
Okay.
recognize the head as being.
Okay, because that does ring a bell, the taxidermy stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess we're walking and talking, so we're basically back at the boat, or almost.
Tavaren, what is your opinion about the situation? I find it important we have all the opinions at the same time.
What do you mean? What is my opinion?
Well, about talking with Hag. Do you think that conflict is not we cannot avoid it, or
I don't know. I think it can probably be avoided, but eventually we might have, like, I don't know. It's like with the bullywugs now. Like, we don't know what will happen until we talk to them. We can talk to Valona and just see what happens.
if we talk?
But if she
it
wants to
will
fight
come?
us, then well, actually, then we're a bit of trouble, because I am very low on energy. I would need a longer than just a short rest.
Well, we might just take a night if we need.
But I think she's gonna be pretty tough to beat.
That is fine. It will be a good fight and a good story to tell afterwards. So, you can decide. We can go now, or we can rest for the night. But I will follow you, and I will respect any decisions that has been taken.
I think we can just go talk to her. It's fine. She seemed
Let's go.
pretty. She seemed pretty okay up till now. She could have, if she wanted us dead, she could have done that earlier. When we barged into our room.
Yeah. Let's go talk to her.
Okay.
She probably lacks visit that is articulate.
How elegantly
Formulated.
How elegantly formulated.
Thank
I
you.
am
I cannot understand, but it sounds like something very, very, very nobility thing. Yes.
Okay. And as you step back into the rowboat, and head off back into the hut towards the hut to your 3 tasks accomplished. Let's take a break.
Yep.
Alright.
That'll allow me to set up the map for what's coming next, and for all of you to stretch your legs, get something to drink, get something to snack. I've got these lovely strawberries right here, so we will be doing that. For those watching, thank you again for following. We hope that the story is still very much to your liking, and we will be looking at more developments in the next session. See you then.